You can find out more about me and the work that I do on my website, thelifecraftingguide.com. Basically, I'm an intuitive who helps people shift their shit and get out of their own way so they can have the kind of life and career that they desire. So I'm here today in my backyard oasis at night to share with you about the energy of June 2016. So June is the sixth vibration, and the sixth vibration, according to numerology, is all about love. And in addition to love, it includes other aspects such as peace and balance, harmony, responsibility, being of service and community and family, and creativity. The six is also one of those vibrations that naturally is attractive to money. The shadow aspects of the six, though, are things like jealousy, vanity, being overly responsible, overgiving, martyrdom, then resentment, and feeling totally despondent or critical, and meddling. Now, the interesting thing about meddling is that for a lot of people, it actually feels like you're being of service and helping. But unless someone has asked you for their help, you might be meddling. So just keep that in mind. So one of the things about the sixth vibration of love is learning to love yourself. And as my beloved astrologer in New York, who has since passed on, Ada, used to tell me when I was going to her years and years ago, Karen, you've got to learn how to love yourself, warts and all. At that stage of my life, I had this need to be perfect. I was a lot thinner, and I wanted to live the ideal version of me. And I kept looking outside for the validation, and I kept wanting other people to love me and approve of me. And so I did a lot of things that were not really helpful to me as a person on this journey that I had been on this lifetime towards self-love. And so the reason I mention this is because many people on this beautiful blue orb we call the Earth are learning about self-love and self-respect and self-acceptance. And that is part of the mission of the sixth vibration, of helping you see the places where you're out of alignment with the energy of love, and where you may be judging yourself and being hypercritical of yourself and trash-talking yourself. And so the sixth vibration is helping to bring that into your awareness so that you can come to a place of acceptance, which is sort of like the first step to self-love, is accepting who you are where you are, suspending the judgment, letting go of whatever it is you thought you needed to be, should be, had to be, and just be you, be who you are, with all your glorious imperfections. Excuse me, I have nature around me. And a bug was tickling my arm. And one of the reasons I'm shooting this at night is because I live in Arizona and it is freaking hot in June. So we're taking the cooler part of the day to shoot this video. And I guess part of the reason that I'm sharing all of this too is to show you how you can be who you are and let people see the real you without you having to pretend to be perfect, and without you having to have all kinds of masks around you, and just strip down to who you are at your core, because you are a child of the divine, and you are perfect and pure exactly as you are. You are not broken. I don't care what people have told just are not broken. You may be misguided, you may be in pain, you may be confused, you may be a little lost, and all of that is something that can be corrected. It's not a reason to withhold love from yourself or withhold love from others. So part of the message of learning to love yourself, warts and all, is to learn to love without judgment, learn to love without strings. So the number 6 is the first time the essence of love, working through the numbers in numerology, the first time that love comes into the place of a larger perspective of love. We see love of self earlier in the numbers, we see love in relationship, we see love in sensuality earlier in the numbers. As we move into 6, love is about learning to love others and be open to community and family and wanting to have that type of relationship with others. It's part of the journey of love to unconditional love. And to achieve unconditional love, you must dissolve all judgment. Otherwise, you're not loving unconditionally. And I know some people teach that in order to be loved, you have to love yourself first. And I do disagree with that, by the way. You're capable of loving to the extent you're capable of loving. You're capable of receiving love to the extent you're capable of receiving love. The more you love yourself, the more love you can receive, and the higher quality of that love. And that love moves more into the unconditional love, because you're willing to love and give love with no strings attached. You're willing to do things in service without expecting something in return. Oftentimes, we do things in service, but whether we're consciously aware of it or not, we're really doing it. The underlying intention behind that act of kindness, that service, is really to get love or appreciation or some other need fulfilled for yourself. And that, my friends, is a string. You're giving to get. Just become aware of that. No judgments, no judgments. We all go through this. We all experience this. It's a normal part of our spiritual growth. So, as you are moving through June, allow your heart to be open. Allow yourself to start dismantling all the rules and regulations, all the blockades and beliefs you've put in your path that are obstacles to you seeing love, receiving love, perceiving love, being love. I am not saying that it's easy, but this energy this month is really going to help you with that. What can you do for yourself today and every day to show yourself more love? How can you really understand the difference between being of service and being a servant? That's the other message of the 6th vibration. When you are being a servant, you are at the whim of someone else. When you're being of service, it's coming from you. You have your own power. You're not giving it away. Learn to receive. Those of you who are really poor receivers this month, all month, practice receiving. You're so good at giving, but you hesitate to receive. 6th vibration, the vibration of love, says it's a complete cycle. So you block the energy and it backwashes. So you give but don't receive, and so it is as if you're not giving. because that energy cycle doesn't fully complete. So understand that as well. And if there's some of you listening to this who are really good receivers, but you're really crappy givers, this month, give to those who are the givers. Take someone to lunch, pay for them. And if you're one of those givers, you better receive somebody else paying for your lunch this month, instead of you always wanting to be the one that takes it. Sometimes when we're doing that, it's really because we're trying to control the situation. And we can pretend and tell ourselves that we're doing this out of the goodness of our heart, but it's really a part of controlling. So just be aware of that. Love does not control. Love just is. No right or wrong. No good or bad. Love just is. And so this month, I invite you to embark on a new and deeper level of loving yourself, however you can, and releasing the judgments that you have, and help restore your own inner peace, and know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are accepted and acceptable exactly the way you are, in deep love, gratitude, and appreciation for you. I remain.